All right, y'all. We give praise, esteem, and honor to the living Elohim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. Let's get John 5:39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life. And there they which testify of me, and you will not come to me that you might have life. I know you, but you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come my Abba name, you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think Abba is one that accuses you, even Moses in whom you trust. Had to believe me before he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? Hallelujah. The Yahushua knew it. Hold on there. Let me slide down a little bit. That doggone sunlight burning my back. Shalom, Brother Reynolds. Revelation 11. It was a clever. That just was burning my back. Peace. It's warm out there today, man. It's warm out there. You got that hot behind jacket on. I know you hot.
I can cheat off of this.
You can't cheat off me. How you gonna cheat off that sweat?
I can see it, brother. So I can cheat.
You can cheat, but is you hot though?
No.
Where they at though? You sure? You got on a hot man shirt. Got on a hot man's jacket. Shoot, I bet you sweating too. I'm sweating looking at you. What you love? BioLite in the bottle? That's what you like? It tastes like syrupy spit. Spit. I'm drunk and don't like it. I just like one. Yeah, but that I don't need no hydration. I can just drink water to be hydrated. And they was giving me a reed like unto a rod, and the Malachim stood saying, rise and measure the temple of Elohim and the altar and them that worship therein. But the court which is without the temple leave out, measure it not, give it unto the Gentiles, and the Kedah city shall tread under 42 months. And I will give unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. Shalom, Brother Ellis. We was in 1 Kings 18 last night. Let's return. Ain't that right, little sassy? That's how you look at that. That's how you know you be sassy. I seen you look off in the distance. Ooh, little baby. Ooh, little nigga. Ooh, little black child. Ooh, little person. We go ask your mom and pappy right now. They gonna be able to say you wasn't a rude baby. They gonna be like, yeah, right, that nigga rude. That's slow, Sister Kelly. I was actually very good child. What you trying to say about your siblings? Dang, you just threw them under the bus like Michael threw King. And so you wasn't out there with them. So you ain't participate in no nigga activities with your sister. It went from you to good when I ain't get caught. No, I ain't give my parents a hard time. But how? You ain't get caught. So that means you was a good criminal and they were the bad ones. See that let a nigga keep talking, tell him you know you done messed up, right? You bought the beer at 11:25. You just told him. Come on, man. 1 Kings 18-17 said.
And it came to pass when Ahab saw Elijah that Ahab said unto him, are you he that troubled Yasharal?
He said, are you he that what?
Trouble Yasharal.
What else?
And he answered, I have not troubled Yasharal.
I ain't did it.
But you and your father's house, and that you have forsaken the commandments of Yahuwah, and you have followed Balaam.
You now follow who?
Balaam.
You follow who?
Balaam.
Pause. Come on, man. Get that revelation, man. Revelation 13, man. 13 and 1 bump. Revelation chapter 13, verse 1.
And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having seven heads. A beast.
Well, how many heads he had?
7 heads, 10 horns.
All right.
And upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the glass.
Name of what?
Blasphemy.
Name of what?
Blasphemy.
He said, where the blasphemy was at?
On his head.
I mean, that's what was in his name. That was in his heart. Now, what you think those name of blasphemies would be? But let's take a look at something. Let's do this. Come over to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, man, verse 1. Huh? What's what? That's a place called Thessalonica. It's a city. Chapter 2, verse 1. Medium type. I don't think it exists anymore. 2 Thessalonians chapter verse 1.
Now we beseech you, brethren, by the
you gotta protect.
Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, and by our gathering together unto him, that you be not soon shaken in mind or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter as from us, as that day of Mashiach is at hand.
So you don't need to be troubled, man, every time something happens. See, so this something y'all don't know. Probably about 2009, 2010, it was like it seemed like it was an earthquake every month in a different city. Niggas thought the end would come. See that? The earthquakes in diverse places, nothing happened. You know what I'm talking about? When Lil Barry, you remember Lil Barry? Some of y'all know Lil Barry. You voted for him. So you don't know Lil Barry. Some of you niggas went and cried about Lil Barry.
Come on, bro.
That's his name. His name Barry. Barry Sotero. You know him as Barack Obama. But there's some people in Hawaii and some other places, they know him as Lil Barry. You know what I'm saying? So when he became president, niggas thought it was over because they felt like he was the beast.
Yeah, that was me.
He the Antichrist, boy, it's over with. A lot of people did. It's the one. He gonna take over the whole world. And the end gonna come. And Lil Barry went off in the sunset to smoke, crack, and wee-wee, man. You ain't seen him since. Not the Jacksonville Suns. Oh, the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, they trying to say Jeff Bezos and Jay-Z trying to buy the Commanders. Nigga, like they said, Jay-Z gonna own a football team. No, Jay-Z gonna own a piece because he's still gonna have to blow and fall down at Bezos' feet. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's something they don't know. It's a lot of stuff going to buy a football team, and Jay-Z don't got enough money. You know what I'm talking about? You got to have a lot of. I'm talking about to be a singular purchaser. Not talking about being in the ownership group. Yeah, of course he got enough money to be in ownership. You talking about the majority purchaser? Yeah, they run you through the ringer. I just looked at something the other day, man. They say it's like 1,500 billionaires in the world. Something like that, man. I can't remember the exact number. But I know they said 500 plus of them here in America. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, you know, the people that be talking, we know what. The people told you Kanye was a billionaire, and I would vote for everybody. And that ain't because what they doing to him. Because that money because that's their net worth. That's going to be tied into a whole bunch of other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And if his net worth allegedly dropped in the fashion that it dropped, I mean, all his net worth was tied into business deals and not tangible assets that he owned. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they're doing. They projecting your money out. They claim LeBron is a billionaire. You know what I'm talking about? There was a dude the other day was talking about, yeah, Jordan could just take Jordan and leave Nike. It's unfortunate in 2022, you niggas still think he owned that. That nigga never owned that. Yeah, niggas take. I'm talking about niggas a highly paid employee. That nigga been working for Nike since 1984.
You're trying to tell me that he got some say so.
No say so. He don't own that logo. He don't even own his name. If that nigga was to lead Nike right now, they can do just like what Adidas they can do with Kanye, and that's sell his shoes and he don't get a dime. Unless they had some type of royalty deal worked out. Because he don't own the designs, he don't own the logo. But what niggas forget, because all niggas know is the shoe, is that when he signed in 1984, he was a college kid just like everybody else. Nigga, they made something for him and it became insanely popular. But they own that. I was like, Kanye's situation is a little different because he brought something with him. But even with that, Kanye couldn't bring the designs that he had with Nike with him to Adidas. People just don't understand how business works, and they think them people. Then what would make you think that I'm gonna make sure that the deal is not advantageous to me when I'm putting up so much resources? That's what people don't know. That's how they get niggas in the music business why niggas able to give up their booty hole in their soul. You know what I'm talking about? Figuratively and literally. Because when you come in the music business, what do you have? Nothing. Them people front you a couple $1 million. You know what I'm talking about? You feel like you balling. And then, you know, then they come back around, you know, maybe that second or third album and say, hey, man, you know, those cheeks are looking kind of neat.
Well, Michael Jordan earns 5% royalty Air Jordans.
Yeah, and that's a small percentage. I mean, at every shoe sold, he get 5%. And we're not talking about shoes sold on the resale market. We're talking about shoes sold from Nike authorized retailers. The shoes are $200. Contrary to popular belief, Jordans are not insanely expensive. They're $200. Nah, you go to Nike.com and you order a pair of Jordans, they're $190. I'm just telling you, you go to Nike.com and you order a pair of Jordans, they $190.
That's only about $10.
I didn't know that because shoot, I get Nike.com alerts for all Jordan apparel. Yeah, they $190. Man, most shoes on Nike.com do not cost what they see. Now, what another retailer charging you for it is another. You go to Nike, they $190. Because I done seen a lot of apparel from a lot of companies that's niggas seem to put a little markup on it when they on their website. Except if it's a Fanatics power website, same inventory. You know what I'm talking about? No matter that's Lids, that's Fan Edge, that's Fanatics, not Eastbay, but all the see Fanatics, man. Y'all see we in the city, we just look at Fanatics as the one on Commonwealth. But with the dude who owned it, he just sold this piece of the 76ers. Man, that man done took that company that it definitely wasn't was 15, 20 years ago. Now they finna go in the gambling. But nevertheless, he was at
Verse 3.
verse 3 or what?
2 Thessalonians.
2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Come on with it, man.
Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that a man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
Son of who?
Perdition.
Come on.
Who will oppose and exalt himself above all that is called Elohim.
He's gonna expose and lift himself up above anything that's called God.
Or that is worshipped.
Shalom, Quran.
So that he is Elohim, said in the temple of Elohim, showing himself that he is Elohim.
Showing himself that he what?
Is Elohim.
That's what we read at the beginning of Revelation 11. Come on, man.
Remember you not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And now you know what withhold that he might be revealed in his time.
In his time.
For the mystery of iniquity do already work.
The what?
The mystery of iniquity.
What it do?
Already work.
So get what? Give him mystery in Greek by definition, iniquity in Greek by definition. Shoot, you can give a secret to Josiah.
Mystery is hidden things,
secret.
Mystery.
So when you see mystery, all that means is it's something hidden, something that's not been readily manifest. Come on.
And then iniquity is the condition of without law in Greek.
So it's without law. We know in Hebrew it's avon, which means perversion. So when you without law, you without order. And when you without order, you pervert things. See, I'm going to show you something else when we're talking about perversion. Come over here to 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 1. See, people pervert stuff with the script right now. People pervert the script all the time. 1 Timothy 6 and 1. Go ahead, man. Hey, he working, man. You got to tighten up on your own time.
Let as many servants as are under the yoke count their own masters worthy of all honor, that the name of Elohim and his doctrine be not blasphemed.
Notice what he said, right? Because me and the brother had a conversation, man. People like to talk about slaves. Let me tell y'all something, man. If you got a job, read it again.
Let as many servants as are under the yoke count their own masters worthy of all honor, that the name of Elohim.
So everybody who is under the yoke of Mashiach, count all your employers, supervisors, and people over authority over you with respect. Listen what he said. So what won't happen?
His doctrine be not blasphemed.
So his word so his teachings won't be blasphemed. See, a lot of people don't even consider that. That's why I told you, oh, I'm on the plan. You know, that man paying you, man. If you're getting paid, you ain't no slave. Man, we were just listening, man, good brother talking about, you know, he feel like, man, we can start our own system. Look at Black Wall. See, people don't understand, man, you can't start your own system in somebody else's system and think they're going to sit there and watch you do it. They're not going to sit there and watch you do it. And you ain't ever seen that in the history of mankind. You can't say they did that in Goshen because you ain't have your own system. You just lived off to yourself. You just lived off to yourself. And you know why you lived off to yourself? Because you were an abomination to the Egyptians. They didn't want you nowhere near them. You're not an abomination in America, contrary to popular belief. You know what I'm talking about? You may be an abomination. See, the reason why you don't walk into that is because you walk into the theory of racism. Racism doesn't exist.
You say was it abomination?
Yeah, I would have said they considered us because we were shepherds, and shepherds were an abomination.
I'm talking about it, like back in for civil rights.
Nah, not even then. All that was just a means of controlling a group of people to further your means. Versus the Egyptians looked at us like, you're an outright abomination. Stay away from me. You disgusting. You know what I'm saying? During the time period, especially in that 1800s, early 1900s, in order to maintain a power base. Because that's really what they were concerned with, was maintaining power. They felt if they didn't do certain things, we would probably overthrow them. One of the biggest fears of white Americans that I have been able to ascertain, and I've told y'all this in the past, just not in a while, they scared of the day that niggas gonna get fed up and retaliate. And if you was in their shoes, you'd probably be fearful of that also. You know what I'm saying? What y'all don't realize is every group of people, especially if they didn't deal with them in a just fashion. You know what I'm saying? That's not to say that these people over here weren't just, but we can see that in general. Living in America, most of y'all done had interactions with Caucasian people, and you have found that them people don't hold you as abominable as you assume they did. You know what I'm talking about? I see a lot of people, some of our people don't have interactions with Caucasians because they feel like, I don't like white people, I don't want to be around them, based off of what they heard. Because a lot of niggas ain't experienced no mishandling by Caucasians. Not personally. You know what I'm talking about? We've heard stories. You may know somebody who has had that happen to them, but as forth as like saying, hey man, I got beat up by the police, or these white folks beat me up and called me nigger and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Most of us don't have that story. I remember when my cousin got followed around the store, man, and killed us. She was probably about 4, that jump broke her heart. She was upset about that jump, you know what I'm talking about? That was her first experience. Then she got another experience with some of her friends, as forth as them doing something, and then they blamed her. And they were Caucasian. That was her first experience. But see, that was something that when my auntie had to tell, she said, hey man, you can have them as friends and all, don't trust them. Just because you got to understand, it's a different. But where does that point come in at? Well, why would she say don't trust them people? Because when it comes down to it, I don't care what race of people it is. If it's gonna come down to you or them, they're 99.9% of the time gonna side with their own people. You know what I'm saying? And that just is what it is. It's not a bad thing. It's not a wrong thing. I mean, it just is what it is. See, black people don't have that mind. You know what I'm saying? Quran said he never had problems with other races. He's had black friends, Asian friends. I've never witnessed racial discrimination. That's why I'm saying if you just sit back and pause and say, have I experienced racial discrimination or oppression in my life personally? Most people don't have that testimony. That's not to say nobody has that testimony, but most people don't. Now, if you live in the South, you probably got a higher chance of having that testimony than somebody who don't. I say that. You know what I'm talking about? You live in Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, North South Carolina, Virginia, Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana. Yeah, you might have experienced some things in the West and in the West Coast and the Upper East Coast may not have experienced. You know what I'm saying? Just because they live differently. You know what I'm saying? So you have to take that into account. But how many face racial discrimination directly, not you felt like it, that it was, because sometimes niggas be feeling like they being discriminated against, and that was just your feelings. I'm talking about that you know unequivocally and without question, like, this nigga just discriminated against me because I'm black. Because you know niggas love to say, it's because I'm black, ain't it? I done seen nigga have a pocket full of rocks and a pistol on his hip. So much you taking me to jail because I'm black. He's taking to you to jail because you have contraband. You know what I'm saying? Come on with it, man. First Timothy 6.
Let as many servants as are under the yoke count their own masters worthy of all honor, that the name of Elohim and his doctrine be not blasphemed. And they that have believing masters, let them not despise, because they are brethren, but rather do service, because they are faithful and beloved, partakers of the benefit. These things teach and exhort.
Teach that. He said, look here. He said, don't despise nobody who has authority over you on your job and they a believer. That's your brother. Look at little James. You hella late with them little songs on. Shoot, they ain't that long either. Nah, nigga, you late, you get joked. He can't fire back. That nigga little James. Little James Stallworth. That's what he is. He said he went up to meet with an assembly of mostly black brothers for Passover in 2019. We went to the beach in North Carolina, and I was the only white person there. My bro said all them white people were looking funny. They must have thought we kidnapped you. They probably did. They probably thinking about, look at that man over there doing the things. I ain't never seen nobody over there. He don't look like he's over here because y'all British people be kind of pale. Y'all don't get a lot of sun. For real though, you ever know that? They don't be kind of pale. That it must be gloomy over there a lot. That's at least how they portray it over here. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all don't get no sun ever. Like it's always overcast like Seattle. What's that? I thought he was like me. White. He British white. Oh, white. He Anglo-Saxon. Right. With an accent white. No, all jokes aside, it's that's what you said. That's why I said Anglo-Saxon. All Caucasians ain't the same. No, they not. No, they not the same. No, that definitely. He said he ghost white because you got Anglo-Saxons, you got Aryans, you got Caucasians. You know what I'm saying? Russians are not the same as the Anglo-Saxons. You know what I'm talking about? What else? Yeah. You talking about Spaniards? They're not the same. Scottish and Irish people, they're not. They're a little bit more closely related to people in the UK. But yeah, Romans and Anglo-Saxons are not the same. Greeks and Anglo-Saxons are not the same. It's no different than looking at somebody from Nigeria, Sudan, Kenya. They are not the same. Yeah, they are not the same. Yeah, he said he Celtic. So, that's Irish. Because, them Celts is different than Anglo-Saxons. And just like we get, see, black people, the only people look like, think, we all the same. Because the Israelites, for the most part. Because so you don't make a difference between tribes. But every nationality of people, them people look at, oh, no, nigga, I'm Celtic. Nigga, I ain't white. And they'll tell you that. They'll be like, who? I'm Roman. I'm not white. Yeah, they be like, I'm Italian, I ain't white. Yeah, the Italians take real offense. Italians roam offense of being called white. I feel like Russians, Irish. Yeah, Scottish. Because they attribute white with Americans, and they were like, we're not you. Yeah, we're not you. Come on, man. 1 Corinthians 6:3.
If any man teach otherwise and consult some words, if any man teach otherwise and consent not to wholesome words, the words of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, into the doctrine which is according to godliness of corrupt minds. And destitute of the truth.
They destitute of the faith.
Supposing that gain is godliness.
They think gain godliness.
From such withdraw yourself.
He said, get away from. Anybody who think increase mean you faithful to God, he said, get away from. Don't fool with them.
But godliness with contentment.
Good. It's good. It's great game. Come on back to 1 Kings 18 and 17. Let's let it go. Let's get to the root of the matter. No. Josiah. I'll kick you dead in your cheeks. Boy, you balling your fists up in your daddy, we'll jump you. I ain't jumped a baby in about 3 years, boy. I've been itching to do it. You know what I'm saying? You got to get DP, cuz. I could look like she like to watch videos of that fat crip nigga sit in the room and like to say, I'm not a customer. I don't know the nigga name. You know who I'm talking about? I think that's his name. Yeah, on 55th.
Oh no.
That nigga look like he kind of slow. Come on, man. First Kings 18 and 17.
And it came to pass.
Hold on, just for those of y'all who don't know, we continuing on from where we were at last night, looking at coming in power and of Elijah and Moses 17, and we picking up from there. It won't take us much longer to deal with Elijah, and then we'll transition over to Moses. Come on, man.
And it came to pass when Ahab saw
mostly black-owned territories. And now here in the South, where it's different is that we got a lot of out-of-towners down here now. It's always funny to me when I be out in the city and people be like, "Oh, I never meet anybody who's from Jacksonville." And you be like, "Nigga, everybody I know from the most part, okay? You niggas came here from another place, linking up with other people from other places." You know what I'm saying? Because I was talking to a dude and I was telling him, like, yeah, people in Jacksonville. It was a dude from California. He said people in San Francisco the same way. That I was like, yeah, people in Jacksonville who from here don't really like to go across the bridge if they don't have to. He was like, oh yeah, it's the same way in San Francisco. He said, yeah, man, we got to go across the bridge. We ain't going. He said it could be a 10-minute ride. I ain't going. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, that's how people here is. I just was telling them, you meet people who ain't from here, they think you being funny. You know what I'm saying? Or being rude. Like, I ain't going across the bridge. They used to come, you know, if you've been living in LA or living in a place with a lot of traffic, you know what I'm saying, and you've been used to being stuck in traffic for 2-3 hours, you think a 15 to 30-minute ride is nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nigga who've been living here all their life, yeah, man, I'm over on such and such. And shoot. I ain't come across that bridge, boy. Man, that's 20 minutes ago, man. It's 10 miles. I ain't come across that bridge, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Brother Langford said people don't cross that water like that in Kansas City either. Go ahead.
Yeah, the trouble is a card. The trouble stir up, disturb.
So he said, are you the one who come and disturb in 13 and 2, I believe, but read one just in case.
And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns. And upon
Hold on, I'm sorry. Your cousin just said that he sat down at a diner one time, asked for a salsa for his beverage, and the lady said, I didn't know y'all knew what that was. That's not why I'm tripping. The nigga said, I was appalled. A salsa, you know, I need a coaster. Look at you rolling your eye, because you know you the coaster lady. Get a coaster.
What's a coaster?
What's a coaster? Shoot. That's when you got a doggone little circular thing for your beverage that you don't stain somebody's table. Most black women are anal retentive about you using a coaster on their table. What? A glass table? Where your coaster at? You can't even set it down. See, y'all come different because y'all mama's new age. They ain't really as anal about this stuff as generations beforehand.
It's like a
Man, look here, man. My auntie didn't give a damn if it was a wood table, a glass table. It didn't matter what it was. Put a coaster on my table. Put a coaster on my coffee table. Matter of fact, anywhere you set a beverage, it better be a coaster up under.
New niggas don't care about coaster.
That's all.
I got kids.
I don't give a damn. She had kids too.
I knew they gonna say.
That's why I say that's this new stuff. Cause see, the older people, clothesline, elbow drop. Next thing you know, them niggas think coaster and they sleep.
Think about when the last time she smiled with plastic.
Oh, that ain't happened since the 80s.
What is it?
Yeah, Tavon said his people were older women, 40 plus. They taught them. You know what I'm saying? So you get that from them old black women because they don't want you to mess up nothing in the house. Shoot, Karan just said he must admit I got coasters and my cups go on. Shoot, some black folks' house I've been to, the table ain't got to be nice. It's just general principle.
You make it last.
Yeah, they don't like to say, no, they don't want no water stain. They ain't gonna wipe it up. You nasty nigga. That's how they go to thinking in their mind. Look, I got coasters. Sylvia no better. That's how she look. She look right. That nigga Sylvia probably go to set a cup down. That nigga just look at her.
No, I just, before he set it down, I'd be right there. I'd be right underneath the cup.
She prepared a drink, shit. So I'm preparing no drink.
Don't be upset. She's observant. Tell that nigga serve some doggone less sass and more class. Roll your eyes again, nigga. See you doing it now. See this? Y'all didn't see it. She was at the house, and they said, "That's my baby." Went to rolling the neck and sucking on the teeth. You know what I'm saying? Popping bubble gum. I wasn't even there. Shoot. He already acknowledged last night you would be assassin. Did he not acknowledge that? Now you don't want to believe. You heard it.
He said it, but I ain't gonna say she did. I'm gonna say which other.
Me, nigga. That's it. That is two. 1, 2.
No, you need another one.
No, we don't. That's just 3.
No.
What is it? Me and my father are one.
Or 1, 2. I bear witness and civic corroborated. You were sad. In your mind. But we know what was going on. Told you we got it on camera. It got caught on the baby camera. Monica seen you too. Come on.
And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion.
His mouth is the mouth of a what?
A lion.
A what?
A lion.
Come on.
And the serpent gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all
back it up again with them animals on them heads.
And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard.
Like unto a who?
A leopard.
And what else was he like?
And his feet as the feet of a bear.
You know what bears do, don't? What bears like to do? They maul people. They maul. They destroy. What are leopards are? Swift to destruction. So guess what that means? He got feet swift to running the mission. Come on now.
And his mouth as the mouth of a lion.
Mouth of a lion. So what is he speaking as a lion? He's speaking as one who has what? Authority. Come on.
And the serpent gave him his power.
And who gave him the power?
Serpent.
The devil gave it to him. So guess who giving Esau his power? The devil giving it to him. Go ahead. Shalom.
And and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death.
As it was what?
Wounded to death.
Go ahead.
And his deadly wound was healed.
He got resurrected from the dead. It literally translates to deadly wounded as he was killed.
And all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshipped the serpent which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who was able to make war with him? And it was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth and blasphemed against Elohim, to blaspheme his name.
That's good. We just wanted to rehash that before we come back to 1 Kings 18 and 17. I got you. And it came to pass when Ahab saw Elijah, that Ahab said unto him, you, he that trouble Yasharal. And he answered and said, I have not troubled Yasharal, but you and your Abba's house, and that you forsaken the commandments of Yahuwah and followed Balaam. That's what we went there for, because he said he followed Balaam. What y'all remember about Balaam? Let's talk about Balaam briefly for a moment. No, Balaam ain't it. Balaam is a man who made up something, and what he made up was a man who liked booty hole. Didn't know that? Balls. A local fertility and nature god. You know what a fertility god is? Fertility god is a god that likes to have sex. Yes, he a nasty god. It's really representative of the different forms of Baal. When you see Balaam, it's really referring to all the elements of Baal. Every Baal. Baal Hadon, Baal Peor, you know, whichever one you can think of. Balaam. Let's talk a little bit more about Baal. You like the ball? Yeah, you like the ball.
I know what types you're talking about.
Basketball, football, soccer ball. It was a solar cult, a patron deity, a fertility god, and Baal Hadad was the fertility version of him. He's represented by a bull, by a ram, and by a thunderbolt. In the text, his parents were known as Dagon and Shalash, and that's the text of the Canaanite people. El and Harathat. In the Greek, he is Zeus. In Egypt, he is Set. Y'all know who Set is. Set is what his name is. That was what name was that nigga name is, man? When they try to say like the Lord, man. No. Horus? Yeah, that's Horus' uncle. That's the one who would try to sodomize Horus in the jacket. He's known in all this. This is a picture of Baal. That's Baal. That nigga ugly. I'll tell you that. That boy that ugly. Woo-hoo. That boy ugly. But like I said, you got a lot of different Baals. You have Baal Hadad. You have Baal El. He's considered to be the son of Dagon, as I stated. And you have Baal of Yagri. Then you got Yamayu, Tanin, Lotan, the fugitive serpent. Baal Safan. Baal Haman. We go on days and days and days. But I just want you to understand who. So Balaam is a fertility god. Now, what makes him a little different than what you see with the beast is, you know what it said about the beast in Daniel 11 about him and women?
He has no desire.
He had no desire for women. You know what I'm saying? Is Obama gay? Allegedly. I don't know. It's people who's made the accusation. Larry Sinclair definitely did. You know, I've definitely never seen a sissy of that type tell a lie. I think he did by now. They definitely claim that he was I think he did. But shoot, man, about what, 2009 or 2012, Larry Sinclair was going around everywhere he could telling people he had that man with weed in his mouth. I'm not being funny. I'm ever so serious. You know what I'm talking about? That man definitely said that he picked this man up as an escort, and they smoked crack cocaine, and he gave him fellatio. And this man told this to anybody who would listen. Radio stations, interviews, you know, anywhere he would go, he let that be known. And his story never changed, never under harsh criticism, examination. His story was the same and consistent. You know what I'm talking about? Now, of course, there were accusations that he was in a homosexual relationship with the choir director at his church, and that there were people who claimed that everybody in Chicago was aware of said relationship, and the gentleman who he's allegedly was involved with perished right before this nigga really started running for president. You know what I'm talking about? Like I said, and whether these things are true or not, Sister Kelly said she remembered. Yes, sir, Brother Langford. Whether these things are true or not, I don't. Like, I crack jokes about it, but now we have to be serious. Like, I don't know. People made accusations. That's why we say alleged. Because he could have been. I don't know. Do he look like he liked men? That nigga do have some very feminine mannerisms that a lot of women would pick up on because you're not a man. And when you're enthralled with the cult of personality of a smooth talking, well-dressed, light-skinned nigga, you'll miss out on a lot of things. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, there's no denying the nigga smooth. The nigga's very well-dressed and very well-spoken. You know what I'm talking about? There's no denying that. You can't look at a nigga and take that away from him. Huh?
No, I was like, definitely well spoken. That nigga know how to.
He's very well spoken.
Like, he be shutting them crackers down with his words. Like,
and like this here, right? I ain't a suit wearer, but I appreciate one. That nigga's suit was always perfectly tailored, never out of place, never too long, never too short, perfectly fitted for his body frame. You know what I'm saying? And when you wear perfectly tailored suits and you keep a clean haircut and you smooth talking, people overlook a lot of things. Sister Kelly said he got tendencies. But there's certain stuff he do. I know one thing. Don't nobody lips be that black and they ain't do nothing but smoke cigarettes. You ever seen that nigga lips? That's weed lips. That's crack pipe lips. But people who smoke a lot of crack, that junk black in their mouth.
Smoke crack.
I served a lot of people smoke crack, lip be black on biggums and all them other people black lip, but Obama can't be one too. Why? You know it?
No, I don't.
But why you taking up for, nigga? You how's it extreme? Why would crack be extreme when you probably run across people who smoke crack and snort cocaine on numerous times throughout the course of your day and never knew? You probably been to a doctor who just hit a pass before he came and talked to you. Your OBGYN and walked up here, checked you out, go in the back, hit a pass. Been up 3 days. Boy, coke don't keep your hand like that rock do. I kind of like to hit. A lot of people like to smoke crack, man. They like to smoke. I don't look at him no different, man. It's cocaine. An egg is an egg. You like your egg scrambled? He like his eggs poached. He like his egg over easy. He like his egg boiled. Guess what the common denominator is? It's an egg. It is. It is. And odds. Because it don't do nothing for your body. Come on, man. Where I got you at?
What was the point? Since you into all that training, what they got to do with it?
Nothing. Yeah.
What's the point besides cooking it?
They claiming that it's raw. You cook it. Yeah, you cook it.
You cooking the protein out. And they claim you cooking the zinc out because the zinc is what eggs itself is a testosterone booster because it's loaded with zinc. You know what I'm talking about? So they claiming that if you drink it, you can get it straight up and down, but you're asking to get salmonella. You know what I'm saying?
You wouldn't recommend that.
I would. Not even that. I wouldn't do it personally. It looks utterly disgusting. But hey, if you got the stomach for it, you know, do you? You know what I'm saying? Quran said that boy got eyes like headlamps in the car. On that hard nard. Come on, man. Where we at?
Verse 19.
And who?
1 Kings 18, verse 19.
We're in verse 19. 1 Kings 18 and 19. Now therefore sin gathered to me all Yasharal under Mount Carmel, and the prophets of Baal 450, and the prophets of groves 400, which eat at Jezebel's table. So Ahab sent unto the sons of Yasharal, gathered the prophets under Carmel, and Elijah came unto the people. How long halt you between two opinions? If Yahuwah, Elohim, follow him. If Baal, follow him. And the people answered not a word. Now, of course, Revelation 11 don't go into detail about what they're going to prophesy. But we know, we just read Revelation 14 last night, and what it said that Malachi was going to do in verse 6. Preach the everlasting gospel. Now, it states that this beast is going to be enraged against these two witnesses and kill them. That means that he would be testifying against them. And how do we know this? Because he said to make a temple and set it apart for the Gentiles, because the Kedar city will be trodden underfoot 42 months. And we know the beast is going to plant his tabernacles. Get him Daniel 11 and 40. Haste. Mean Gene. Good. You always cheese. Like American or Swiss. Provolone. Gouda.
What is that?
Cheese. Different type. What'd you say? Name is Yahuwah? That ain't your name. Your name Hezekiah. Yahuwah in your name. You don't know the last name. Ask your father. Not right now. 11 and 40. No, his last name is not you. Daniel 11 and 40.
And at the time of the end, push at him, and the king of the north shall come against him like a whirlwind, with chariots and with horsemen and with many ships. And he shall enter into the countries and shall overflow and pass over. He shall enter also into the esteemed land, and many countries shall be overthrown. But these shall escape out of his hand. Edom and Moab.
Down there, 44.
But tidings out of the east and out of the north shall trouble him. Therefore he shall go forth with great fury to destroy and utterly to make away many.
That's right.
And he shall plant the tabernacles of his place between the seas and the esteemed Kadash mountain. Yet he shall come to his end, and none shall help him.
Notice where he said he would plant it at? Where it said he would plant it at? And the esteemed Kadash Mountain. Where is that esteemed Kadash Mountain at? In Jerusalem. Planted at. We should already know when it said the esteemed Kadash Mountain. Man, give him Isaiah chapter 2, man, verse 1, man. Let the book tell it to you. What y'all got going on? Your man legs is touching me. I ain't trying to quench my thirst. You say you might have been here since 2016, but I've been at the table for the last 30 minutes. Come on, man.
The word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Yehuda and Jerusalem, and it shall come to pass in the last days, the mountain of Yahuwah's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, come you and let us go up to the mountain of Yahuwah, to the house of Elohim of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways.
You say go where?
To the house of the Elohim of Jacob.
And he gonna do what?
Teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. Out of Zion shall go forth the law.
Out of where?
Zion shall go forth the law and the word of Yahuwah from
what you call it?
First Kings.
First Kings chapter 18. I'm in verse 21 one more time. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, how long will you halt between two opinions? And if Yahuwah Elohim follow him, but if Baal follow him. And the people answered him not a word. Then Elijah said unto the people, I only remain a prophet of Yahuwah, but Baal's prophets are 450. The bullock and lay on wood and put no fire. And you call on the name of your gods, and I'll call on the name of Yahuwah, and the Elohim that answered by fire, let him be Elohim. And all the people answered and said, it is well spoken. That's another instance where you can see why they're able to make fire come down from heaven. Now we ain't got to the part where Elijah actually did that. Do me a favor, man. Give me Luke 9, right? Give me about Luke 9. Give me about verse 55. Luke 9 and 55.
He turned and rebuked them and said,
okay, back me up about 50.
Luke
9 and 50. Luke 9 and 50. Come on.
And Yahushua said unto him, forbid not, for he that is not against us is for us.
So let's do this here. Let's back it up a little bit more. About 47, maybe 45. I want to make sure you get the whole context of what's going on. Luke chapter 9, verse 45.
But they understood not this saying, and it was hid from them, that they perceived it not, and they feared to ask him of that saying.
That's right.
Then there arose a reasoning among them, which of them should be greatest.
Which of them should be what?
Greatest.
That's what's the problem with a lot of groups right now. They worry about who's going to be the greatest. You ain't even greatest in your own house. Your wife don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Your children don't listen to you. That's why you're out here trying to get somebody to listen to you and respect you in the street, because your family don't like it. Go ahead.
Yahushua, perceiving the thought of their heart, took a child and set him by him, and said unto them, whosoever shall receive this child in my name, receive me, and whosoever shall receive me, receive him that sent me.
That's right.
For he that is least among you all, the same shall be great.
That's right.
And John answered and said, Master, we saw one casting out devils in your name, and we forbade him.
We told him stop.
Because he followed.
This is what probably got misconstrued with some other last night. They thinking, why, you mocking the awakening, you must be against us. Nah, man. You ain't preaching Yahushua. Yahushua ain't got nothing to do with that. So I can't be against you. You know what I'm saying? But if you preaching the gospel, how can I be against you? Anything that Elohim, well, we're going to be for that because they promote and push him. You know what I'm talking about? Come on with it, man.
And it came to pass when the time was come that he should be received up, he steadfastly set his face to go to Jerusalem.
Now, here we go. That's what we came here for.
And sent messengers before his face.
That's right.
And they went and entered into a village of...
Pause. You know that's what he did with Ahab, right? Sending messengers before his face. That's exactly what Elijah did with Obadiah. Come on.
Of the Samaritans, and to make ready for him. And they did not receive him because his face was as though he would go to Jerusalem.
They didn't want to take the word. Listen to him.
And when his disciple James and John saw, they said, Lord,
will you want us to do like Elijah?
Will you that we command fire to come down from Shamahim and consume them, even as Elijah did? But he turned and rebuked him and said,
"See, we're going to get to that because them people didn't want to hear Elijah. That's why they asked that. But remember, why did Elijah ask for fire to come down from Shamaim? Because these people were committing idolatry. It was Yahuwah's will for these people to be destroyed. But listen to what he said.
You know not what manner of spirit you are of.
You don't know what type of spirit you got. You don't know the business. When you say manner, it should be debar if it was in Hebrew. You don't matter. You don't know the manner of business and occupation your spirit's supposed to have. Come on.
For the Son of Man is not come to destroy men's lives, but to save.
See, Elijah will come to destroy men's lives as punishment for their idolatry. See, the two witnesses are coming to destroy men's lives for the product of their idolatry and their disobedience and their unbelief. But you guys, see, you got to understand something. When you get to the time of two witnesses, the time for mercy and compassion for unbelief is over. That's over with. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't gonna be as much as a long of a rope. Don't you know in the book of Revelation, man, it tell you that men gonna have that it's gonna be tormented so bad that they gonna cry out for death and death gonna flee from them. That men will be tormented so badly that they will not do what, boo? What is the thing the book say they're not gonna do when they be tormented, boo? That means she ain't here. That means she can't go home. She gotta stay here. I don't care what you do with her once I leave. I'm between you and her. All jokes aside, what does the book say is going to happen to these people when they tormented? They're not going to repent of their murders, of their blasphemies, of their idolatries, and of their deaths. It's over with. That's a wrap. If you ain't already been rocking with the word, when the time the beast come, you ain't going to be rocking with it. In general, I'm not saying nobody can't get no turn, but then again, the book say what? When the beast come, everybody who worship him is going to worship him because their names ain't written in heaven. See, I done told y'all that before, and I'm going to tell you again. Well, if you take the mark of the beast, you're going to hell. You know what I'm talking about? There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. You know why? Because you're going to have to hold fast to the contract that you agreed to. You agreed with death, you got to go to death. Ain't no repentance once you take the mark of the beast. You're done. You are done. It's over with. It's a wrap. It's a finish. You're through. That's why you must know the gospel in order for this man not to deceive you. You know what I'm talking about? But also, we do know, what did the Lord say? He sent a strong delusion that they might believe a lie, that they might be damned. So if you believe in the beast, it's because that's what Yahuwah wanted. And who am I to fight with the will of God? I ain't going to fight with it. You going to fight with it? You going to fight with the will of God? You. You don't know what's going on here, do you? You're a smart man by not answering. You don't know what's going on. Can't nobody beat you. You just talking because you think it's funny and cute, but it's not funny, nor is it cute. Huh? You get beat or shoot, you get beat before you could even finish the thought that you could beat it. Before, while the thought was coming up in your mind that you could beat Yahuwah, you already lost because you thought you could beat Yahuwah. Yeah, no, he's saying he would. He said you probably would lose in 1 second. So I'm telling you, no, he doesn't say. He said he know you can't. He's just trying to put it in his mind, like how fast would it take for him to beat you? You would lose before you were even born to have the thought to think that you could win. Mm-hmm. Before you could even talk, you had already lost. Before you took a poop. You know babies poop when they in your mama's stomach? Did you know you pooped in your mama's stomach? What you think, you don't use the bathroom? Well, what else you gonna do? Yeah. Yes, you do. You gotta go to the bathroom sometime. You're an actual person in there. Oh no. It's just set up on how you in the womb. She doesn't have to take anything out. That's another conversation. That's what science is like. We'll talk about that later. Come on, 1 Kings 18. I'm in 19. We don't. Yeah. Matter of fact, finish that verse.
For the Son of Man is not come to destroy men's lives, but to save. And they went to another village.
What chapter?
They went to another what?
Another village.
Come on.
And it came to pass that as they went in the way, a certain said unto them, Lord, I will follow you wheresoever you go. And Yahushua said unto him, foxes have holes and birds of the air nests.
But the son of Adam
have not where to lay his head.
Come on.
And he said unto another, follow me. But he said, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father.
He said, what I got to do? Come on.
But the dead bury their dead.
Let the what?
Let the dead bury their dead.
Let the what?
The dead bury their dead.
And let sinners deal with sinners.
But go you and preach the kingdom of Elohim.
He said, go you and do what?
Preach the kingdom of Elohim.
He said, go and tell them they Israelite.
Preach the kingdom of Elohim.
He said, go and tell them you the people.
Kingdom.
I nigga want to do that. I need that something. Man, we got to get this nigga. What you feed him this morning? Say what now? What you fed him this morning? And what you get this nigga? Continental breakfast? That's what he wanted. I just made that my baby. You ain't give him enough stuff to give him some energy so he can be around here for a fact. You need to go get that nigga a brain booster. Nah, for my man. I done bought him before. Y'all niggas looking crazy. That nigga got pills. Nigga, that junk get you alert. No, cause he ain't hit the effectors now.
Let me go.
No, my man sell brain boosters, man. That ain't no joke. That dead serious. Nigga, I done bought that junk for the nigga about 5 times. Doc Ross, man, that nigga got a full bottle. Yeah, right there on session. Yeah, that nigga got some brain boosters. I just ain't been over there because you can order them online and then mail it to your house. But I was like, man, I'm not gonna have a nigga mail nothing. But I ain't been across town. You know what I'm talking about?
What he said?
It's a herb. Yeah, about Urban Kennedy. But he got a thing called shoot. That nigga got brain boosters, womb toners, breast enhancers. You know what I'm talking about?
Breast enhancers.
Yeah, like, trying to get pregnant, you got some everything.
Yeah, like if you know what I'm saying, and he got a wall full of herbs, and a nigga give you a what you call it? A nigga give you a dietary plan, whole consultation, but you gonna have to be vegan if you get your dietary. He wholeheartedly. That if you go in there talking Dr. Sebi, he gonna want to fight. I'm gonna tell you that right now. If you go in there and you compare him to Dr. Sebi, he gonna want to fight. Cause that nigga said, don't disrespect me. I'm a bio-herbal kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm a damn doctor. That's my dog, though, man. He good dude. You know what I'm talking about? Come on with it, man. That's good. Yeah, you got one more.
And another also said, well, I will
let the dead bury the dead.
But let me first go bid them farewell, which are at home at my house.
That's right.
And Yahushua said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow,
looking back,
is fit for the kingdom of Elohim.
You ain't fit for the dominion of Elohim if you back. No, I don't listen to the women on the internet now talking about look back at it because you're going to hell. 1 Kings 18. Verse 23. No, I'm in 25. I appreciate that because that's what little Michael here said. Elijah said unto the prophets all, choose you one bullock for yourselves, dress first, for you many, and call on the name of your gods and put no fire. And they took the bullock which was given them, they dressed, called on the name of Baal from morning even until noon, saying, oh, Baal, hear us. You know how weird that got to be about that. Oh, Baal, hear us. But no voice, nor any that answered. And they leaped upon the altar which was made. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them, saying, cry aloud. For a God, either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he's in a journey, or peradventure he sleep and must be wake. Because you know what people say nowadays, you can't disrespect other people's beliefs. You can't talk about other people's gods. Well, I've been in many places clowning niggas' gods. Nigga, fuck your God, nigga. Nigga in Islam in my room got mad one time, said, nigga, your God got you going to lick coochie, nigga. You nigga go all the way to Mecca to put your mouth on the bowl. That's what you went and did. Your God made you a coochie eater. You performed cunnilingus as a religious rite. My God required me to walk around a stone and perform cunnilingus. That's horrible. Yahuwah has never asked me to do such a thing. I don't have to walk around a stone 7 times and then put my mouth on her vulva. That's what your God want me to do. I'm clowning him.
All the men put their mouth.
All these men done put their mouth on me. Kissing the box. The cobblestone. And guess what it's in? A square box. You Saturn worshiping bastard Jew. You stand before you work. That means you worship vagina, use a box worship.
I need to clean.
Yes, it's literally in the shape of a real bowl. Somebody showed a picture of the cobblestone. Somebody, let me show y'all that so y'all think. I know y'all done heard me say that. I'm not making this up. I can't remember all the details because I really don't care. I care, but I don't care. It's in Mecca, Saudi Arabia.
This right here, okay.
That is it. That's that monkey. That's that monkey.
Over where Muslims kissing.
A place that you should never see in your. What they're doing is they're kissing a woman's private parts because they nasty people.
Yeah.
The people of the other nations who don't serve Yahuwah's son, they like to worship men and women's private parts. And they like to do ungodly things with each other's private parts.
What do they say the Bible represents?
I forget. But that's what they're doing.
So what's the point?
It's supposed to be paying homage to. I have to remember. Hey, look up what the cobblestone, what Abraham is stone. I can't.
That's what they say where he sacrificed.
Yeah, that's supposed to be where he was gonna sacrifice Isaac on. So then they put the box with the vulva on it, and then everybody got to walk around the stone 7 times and then go kiss the vulva. That's what I do. I mean, because it is confusing, because it's idolatry. Ain't nothing saying about idolatry.
No, that's why the fact that I watched an interview where a Muslim was talking to a Christian and saying that we believe it was Jesus, but we just don't worship him. We worship Muhammad, whatever.
Oh, I can explain that to you easily. They don't believe that Yahushua was the Son of God. They also don't believe that he was crucified, nor do they believe that he died, nor they believe that he resurrected from the dead. They believe that Allah took him off the cross and made everybody believe that he died and resurrected from the dead. But he actually didn't die. That's what it says. And they believe that Muhammad is the last prophet and that the comforter spoken of by Yahushua in the gospel is actually referring to Muhammad. Who, Muhammad? No, they believe he was taken into heaven.
So they believe Muhammad.
No, they believe that Mashiach was on the stake, and while he was on the stake, Allah took him off the stake and took him into heaven, and people just believe he died and rose from the dead, but he really didn't die.
So what Muhammad got to do?
Muhammad is the last prophet, and they believe that Muhammad is the comforter that the Lord spoke of. But Muhammad was an illiterate pedophile.
So who they preaching? Muhammad?
Basically, but they played Allah. But they'll let you know, but all peace be to the prophet. Allah is the moon goddess of ancient times. It's the 3 daughters of Allah, to be specific. I told a Muslim dude that that's improper scholarship. We can scholar ID nuts. Because nigga, I done seen the statues of the daughters of Allah, and I done had real Arabs who really come from over there who will let you know that yes, that is true. That crescent star and moon, all that stuff, man, that's for coochie. But remember, I've told y'all this before. Do your research. Islam was created by the Catholic Church. If you put Catholicism and Islam side by side, their rites and rituals are almost identical. The Catholic Church created Islam as a means for overtaking Jerusalem. They were looking to overtake Jerusalem and bring it under their power, and they were willing to do anything necessary to be able to do it. So they created Islam. Because before Islam was created, Arabs worshiped a different god for every day of the week, which was 360. They had 360 different gods that they worshiped before Islam was created. You know what I'm saying? And this is all historical fact. Some of the same stuff that people getting upset about with Ron Dalton in his documentary is all historical fact. And it don't even take much to find this information. It's just people don't look for it. Because they don't want to know. People are lazy. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of stuff, and y'all got it better now, like I told you, because y'all got Google, the internet, YouTube, all type of stuff. And when we was young, man, we had to go find books and track this stuff down and spend man hours reading to what niggas can learn and really verify in a short period of time, of which we weren't able to do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, that's what that stuff is, man.
According to their tradition, that stone was given to Adam from his explosion.
Say according to their tradition, it say
forgiveness of sins.
Say that say that that was a stone given to Adam for forgiveness of sins. So we know that ain't true. Why would Yahuwah send Adam out the garden? Here's a stone, take that. It's for your sins. Let's put a box around it in a coochie and kiss it. Bella say to walk around the 7 stones sound like somebody was reading the Old Testament with Joshua in the walls of Jericho. You would think, but it's something else to go along with it. And I can't remember what it is why they walk around the 7. Look it up and see why they walk around the 7. For music.
It's confusing.
It is confusing because it's fire. Yeah, and then you turn around and you go kiss a rock.
So they don't pray to Allah.
They pray to Allah in Muhammad's name for all intents and purposes. Anytime you hear them say, and the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. I said, peace be upon him. Man screwed Muhammad in the vagina he came out of.
Do you think he even was a real person that walked?
Yeah, he was a real person. So he was a known illiterate bum.
So Muhammad kind of like Yahushua, and Allah like
No, I mean Allah was a God that was worshipped, Islam was created. But the framework and story of Islam and the Quran was created by the Catholic Church.
It says they walk around in Mecca during Hajj or Umrah when they visit the mosque.
Now that what that is, they have a Hajj pilgrimage. Every Muslim once in his life is supposed to go to Saudi Arabia, go to Mecca, and visit the Kaaba stone once in his life. If he doesn't do it, he's not considered to be a true Muslim. This is where Malcolm X went at, and that's when they say he had his change. We took his pilgrimage to Mecca and seen all these different colored Muslims out here bowing down, kissing cooch. Because you got to bow down to kiss that cooch.
He was leaving Nation Islam, right? When Malcolm X was leaving Nation Islam,
put him out. Go ahead.
It just says they all walk around it in a circular fashion just to symbolize their belief and in worship of Allah.
So basically what they're doing is they walking around it 7 times to worship an idol. Because remember, they walk around it 7 times, and then after the 7th one, they go to the... You laughing. You know what I'm talking about. Keep it that way. Come on back to 1 Kings 18. So stay in the town. Verse 27, 28. And they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives, lances, till blood gushed out of them. See, y'all don't know that. In certain religions where they prophets have to cut themselves. Who ain't never tell nobody, if you want me to hear you, cut yourself with a knife. Sound like what they ask you niggas to do in them fraternity houses. Let me brand your butt. Niggas walking around here with cuts on his bum. How you pull your pants down, let another man cut you? Niggas get cut. Some of them niggas get a brand. Yeah, I mean you got the brand, and some of them niggas got that young nigga put a knife on. No, the brand is voluntary. So they say. We don't really know if we ain't in there. Some of them niggas be lying. They be just like Masons. Nigga might have came in there and be like, you gonna get this brand, I'm gonna brand your butt.
Voluntary, so you don't get it.
Mm-hmm. But then what happens when they go in closed doors and nobody? No, I know they've been told because Masons will tell you stuff, but they don't never tell you the stuff when it's just in. At that point, if a nigga sitting around letting somebody kick him in the throat, somebody got sodomized. I ain't even being funny. If you let a man say, you know what, stand right here and let me kick you in the throat, somebody agrees to some side. Being dead serious, I ain't even trying to be funny. Because that's too much right. That nigga could die. You kick a nigga in the throat, man, you could crush a nigga leg and nigga die.
I remember.
Yeah,
I remember.
You know what I'm saying? So if you willing to let a man do that, we already y'all know some of them fraternity dudes be weird, man. And tie a ribbon to their wee and they got to detail all their sexual exploits in their life. That's verse 29. And it came to pass when they was midday was past, they prophesied until the offering of the sacrifice, and there was neither voice nor any to answer, nor any that regarded. Elijah said unto all the people, come near unto me. All the people came near unto him, and as he repaired the altar of Yahuwah broken down. Give me repair. Right, this is repaired in Hebrew. You ain't lying, Quran. It's definitely demonic.
That's to heal, to make healthful.
What's the word?
It's Rapha.
Rapha. Y'all know Rapha, right? That's the word for repaired. He said he healed it. Pause, because Misha called me asking me about this passage, man. Come over here to Exodus 20 and 24. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 24. Say something else and I'm going to get your nose. I'm going to Exodus 20. Thanks. Come here. Exodus 20 and 24.
An altar of earth you shall make unto me, and shall sacrifice thereon.
What does he say? The altar of what?
Of earth.
Altar of what?
Of earth.
Go ahead.
You shall make unto me, and shall sacrifice thereon your burnt offerings, and your peace offerings, your sheep, your oxen, and all places where I record my name. I will come unto you, and I will bless you.
Give him record by definition.
Zakar, to remember, recall, to call to mind.
So you got to make an altar of earth for anywhere where his name will be remembered. Take her to your mama because she pissed.
And if you will make me an altar of stone, you shall not build it of hewn stone. For if you lift up your tool upon it, you have polluted it.
If he say make you an altar of what?
Altar of stone.
He say don't do what now?
Build it of hewn stone.
Build it of what?
Hewn stone.
Because what's going to happen?
You're going to pollute it.
You're going to what?
Pollute it.
You're going to what?
Pollute it.
And God said what else?
Neither shall you go up by steps unto my altar, that your nakedness be not discovered thereon.
What y'all think them verses mean, man, with an altar of earth? Don't make an altar of hewn stone. Sir. Good sir. He said, screw you, I ain't thinking about you. Good sir. And they say, man, I'm trying to tell y'all something. Y'all just looking at me. Y'all ain't figured it out yet?
I was like, other than if Yahushua's on the stage, he's the altar of earth and they polluted him by putting him, and he took on the sins of the earth because they polluted.
Yeah, you can use that. But let's look at the first thing first, right? The altar of earth. Read the verse again.
An altar of earth shall you make unto me, and shall sacrifice thereon your burnt offerings, your peace offerings, your sheep, your oxen, in all places where I record my name.
Now go to Galatians chapter 4 and verse 1. Let's look at how Mashiach that altar of earth.
Now I say the heir, as long as he is a child, defer nothing from a servant, though he be Lord of all. You said 4 and 1.
Yeah, 4 and 1.
But is under tutors and governors until the time appointed of the Father. Even so we, when we were children, were in bondage under the elements of the world. But when the fullness of the time was come, Elohim sent forth his son, made of a woman.
So that would be an altar, because if you depending on the translation you read, it'll call it slaughtering place. Go ahead.
Made of a woman, made under the law, to redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons.
That you might receive what?
The adoption of sons.
Come on.
And because you are sons, Elohim has sent forth the ruach of his son into your hearts, crying, Abba, Father. Wherefore you are no more a servant, but a son.
But a what?
But a son.
But a what?
But a son.
Okay.
And if a son, then an heir of Elohim or Mashiach.
So what we're looking at for is to show you that he was at place to bring your burnt offerings and peace offerings. Give me 1 Peter chapter 2, man, verse 5. This gonna give you the stones right here.
You also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house, a Kadash priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to Elohim by Yahushua HaMashiach.
By who?
Yahushua HaMashiach.
Come on.
Wherefore also it is contained in the scripture, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he that believe on him shall not be confounded.
That's good. Now go back to burnt offerings and peace offerings in Exodus 20 and give it to him by that. Cuz, you ain't got me none. You ain't got me none, cuz.
Burnt offerings is olah, a whole burnt offering.
That means that's going to be a sacrifice tried by fire. Come on.
And peace offering, sacrifice for alliance and friendship.
So this friendship offering, and you know you're supposed to present yourself as a what? Living sacrifice. And now you're doing it upon this altar of stone. Now when you look at the altar of stone, you can sit back and look at it and say you can't make no offerings on it unless you pollute it. This is also another instance why Mary had to be a virgin. Because then if she had been conceived by man's seed, then that altar would have been defiled because it would have been a huge stone. You know what I'm talking about? Can't offer nothing on it. Then he got to be without blemish before he even get hung because you can't offer nothing on it. That slaughtering place couldn't have no cuts, no blemishes, no nothing. Or we can't offer nothing on this pollutant. And then the other part saying don't come up by a sin is dealing with if your thoughts. They'll be exposed. The nakedness will be shown. Anytime you come to the altar of Yahuwah to make a sacrifice, your thoughts going to be exposed. Get that last verse.
Neither shall you go up by steps unto my altar, that your nakedness be not discovered thereon.
That step was olah, that's a sin. But it also means thoughts. He say, so you better not go up with the wrong thoughts now. Or your impurity, your sins, they're going to appear. You're going to be exposed. You know what I'm talking about? Let's come back to 1 Kings. We're in 18 and 31. Elijah took 12 stones according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, under whom the word of Yahuwah came, saying, Yasharal shall be your name. And with the stones he built the altar in the name of Yahuwah. He made a trench about the altar as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. He put the wood in order and cut the bullock in pieces and laid on the wood and said, fill 4 barrels of water and pour on the burnt sacrifice and on the wood. And he said, do the second time. And he said the second time. And he said, do the third time. And they did the third time. And the water ran about the altar and filled the trench with water. Also with water. It came to pass at the offering of the sacrifice. Notice what was Cain. Was that Cain his thoughts? Absolutely, Sister Kelly. She just asked, was that with Cain and his nakedness got exposed? And it did. Because remember, what did he do? He brought up what he wanted to bring, and Yahuwah didn't have respect unto his offering, and it said that he was raw. And he said, why has your countenance failed? If you do well, you'll be accepted. But if not, sin lie at the door. And you know that goes to something that we mentioned last night, because a lot of people got the mind of Cain. And their nakedness and their impurity get exposed because you want to give Yahuwah to Yahuwah what you want to give versus what he required. See, you remember what we done talked about before when he said he want the fat in the kidneys, Yahuwah want the best. See, a lot of people bring Yahuwah what you want. See, I told you that before, right? Some people, you do that with gifts. You don't give somebody your best when you bring them a gift. You bring them some old raggedy junk. You give them some junk you wouldn't even want for yourself. You know what I'm talking about? See, let's like this here, right? Because Misha will ask about this here, right? As far as the tithe concerned. We done talk about this here, right? When are the only times of the year you're supposed to pay him? 3 times a year that you come up. And when you come up, you're supposed to get this man what? The 10% of your increase. And he said you're supposed to give him your what? Your best. And who's supposed to give it? All the men. Because who the ones he say must appear? All the men. See, remember, like I told you, it makes sense that you would tithe 3 times a year, because when you come in with Passover, you begin your first harvest, right? You're supposed to give him the best. You're supposed to give him the sheaf, the way for the first fruit during unleavened bread and all that. Because your first fruit, that's supposed to be your what? Your best. Then you come to Pentecost, and that's literal first fruits of a good harvest. And what you supposed to give it? Your best. Because he said you should not delay to give me what? Your first ripe fruits and your liquor. Ain't that what the law says? So you're supposed to give him your best. Then you get ready and you tithe again when tabernacles come in, because that's in gathering. And that's your harvest for what? To get you ready for the winter time. And what you supposed to give him? Your best. And what you seen that Abel gave him, the first of everything, didn't he? He gave him the best. But here go Cain. I'm gonna give you this. Give you that. Not even the worst, but he ain't give him his best. But I like your way of thinking. That's right. He gave him the stuff that he ain't even want. I don't want this no more. That's where you get a lot of people. You feel happy they can get stuff to the homeless. They don't even give them stuff in good repair. I don't want this no more. You can take it. Them shoes beat up. You can wear them. You don't want them, but you want to give them to him. You know what I'm saying? We ain't talking about, I got a lot. I'm going to get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? It's still in good repair, still usable. Look, I would still want it, but I got enough. You got niggas just be like this here. Soles coming off the shoe. T-shirt collar lazy. You know what I'm saying? The polo collar like this here, he ain't even at the top no more.
Yeah, off the horse.
You know what I'm saying? He always do a horse like that.
Yeah, I can't see anything.
But when you think about that, he gave Yahuwah what he didn't want. It's just like what Saul did, right? He kept the best part back. But Yahuwah told you to slaughter that because it wasn't good to him, but it was good to you. You right?
What
y'all niggas doing? Rubbing knees?
We got my elbows now, bro. I've been here.
I need to get a haircut, man. You done went crazy.
I have my Bible do it.
That Bible say Van Dyke.
Yeah, right.
All right.
I can't hear you. Say that again. 2 people? Hold on, I can't hear you. Who's that making all that? Oh, that's him. Say it one more time. Oh, there are 2 people beside him? Yes. It was 2 thieves, one on each side. Kind of like how Mr. Monte and Mean Gene are beside you right now.
Getting ready to steal something. Getting ready to steal something.
Were they going to steal something?
Yeah.
Oh, no, they had already stolen. You know what happens when you steal? Do you know what happens when you steal? You go to jail. And you go to jail to be in a room with a man named Nasty Nate. Huh? You go to any jail, you go into jail with a man named Nasty Nate. And he has a forbidden jungle of love. Don't steal. If you steal, you're going to go to jail with a man named Nasty Nate. And he going to have taco meat on his chest, and he going to want your fruit cup. If you steal, he going to want your fruit cup. No, your literal fruit cup that you eat. Y'all like fruit cups, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do? Well, if you go to jail, Nasty Nate gonna take your fruit cup, so don't steal. Also, don't steal because Yahuwah don't like it. But you definitely don't want to go to jail with Nasty Nate. Because in every jail, there's a man there named Nasty Nate. He gonna take your fruit cup. He gonna take your lunch.
Might take your life.
He gonna take your mat. Because when you go to jail, you don't get a bed. Not necessarily, but you don't get a bed. They give you a mattress, a plastic mattress that's lumpy, and then you have to sleep on a steel bed. and it hurts your back and your neck, and there's a toilet with no lid, and you have to sit and take a poop in front of everybody. Oh, shit. What? Everybody. Everybody. Ain't no door. You sit on the toilet and everybody can see you. So don't steal, so you don't have to sit on a steel toilet in a room with nasty Nate who wants your fruit cup.
Definitely no lid on them toilets.
Civic used to work in the prison. You know what they like to do in the prison? They like to sit in there and scream and holler all night, talking about, I want to go home. But nobody lets them. No, he used to work there.
Not a pleasant place.
Huh? Yeah, they try to be nice, but it's not the type of nice you want.
You try to get out of jail.
Can't get out until they let you out because you're locked up.
Laying on your bed.
Yeah, they're going to put candy on your bed. Oh, no, not the other fruit cups. Because I thought you meant the other fruit cup. No. In the movies, you know, he say, you want my fruit cup? Yeah. Yeah, it's a stoner movie. And it's still funny even if you don't smoke weed. Oh, you never watch Half Baked? I would advise you do. I don't know, it might not be funny to you now because y'all don't smoke marijuana. That's not funny to me, though. You know what I'm talking about? Marijuana, that just was funny to me without marijuana in it. You know what I'm saying? That nigga say no nasty Nate. Forbidden jungle of love. He in there waiting for everybody who sees. Look at you. It's on Tubi. It's on Tubi. Nah, that nigga was late. So it's on Tubi. That nigga was extra late because everybody was quiet. He didn't walk in the door. He looked like a nigga come to class in college, super duper late, interrupted everybody to turn around, look at the door, and look at him. He like this here. Monica like, I'm telling you, I don't want to be late. I'll never be late for nothing. That's how you feel? Because you look like you don't never be late. If it's just you. Now we're going to ask your husband, is that true? She be late? So is you.
Johnny.
Dang, nigga, you that late? What type of dump you took? Huh?
He was still his father.
You was in that bathroom doing something else. I don't know what you was in there doing. You weren't taking no dump. That nigga probably in there sitting there reading the Vibe magazine from 1997. Say you was in there looking at Jet Beauty of the Week. Woo! But I know, boy, you look like the type boy told this nigga that is you, boy, in that Jet Beauty of the Week. Oh, you ain't know that term? You want to pay with that? You leave people alone. Come on, man. The first Kings, man. Say you don't do this. You just say I was a savage.
He said that was his bro.
I don't want nobody to know. Everybody know you freak nasty. That's why you was spending all them records. You know what I'm talking about? That's why you was spending them records. You know what I'm saying? Young nasty. You know what I'm saying? No, everybody know. Everybody knows if you get a nigga he DJ when he young, he old young nasty. You know what I'm saying? You old freaky nigga. How many unfreaky DJs you done met? Nah, every nigga I know who like DJ, like went somewhere, them niggas freaky. You know what I'm talking about? Shoot, nigga, all the ladies like the DJ. And that nigga still got your phone. You let a nigga take your phone, B? You let that man take your stuff, B?
Civilized, like,
you know what I'm saying? But you let this man take your stuff, man. Ain't you a man, man? And you get out here, B. Till you bring me that man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Verse 36. 1 Kings 18.
And it came to pass at the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Yahuwah Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Yasharal.
Let it be what?
Known this day
that
you are Elohim and Yasharal.
I
am your servant.
And I have done
all these things at your word.
Y'all know that's dealing with Mashiach, right? You know that he got doggone, he made that sacrifice at the time of the evening sacrifice. You do know at the time of that sacrifice that he made it known that he was the Elohim. Read it again, sis.
And it came to pass at the offering of the...
Do know at the time of that sacrifice that he made it known that he was the Elohim. Read it again, sis.
And it came to pass at the offering of the sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came there and said, Yahuwah Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and of Yasharal, let it be known this day that you are Elohim and Yasharal.
Now there's what? Notice that you are Elohim and Yasharal. This is the thing that one of the two witnesses will be doing to the people to let them know that there is an Elohim and Yasharal and it is Yahuwah. And when Mashiach was on that state and he died, he said, surely this man is what?
Wow.
The son of Elohim. You know what it said? That day he let it be known that there was an Elohim and Yasharal and that he had done everything according to the word. Come on with it, man. I know it's slow pace what we're dealing with, but it's okay.
Hear me, O Yahuwah, hear me, that this people may know that you, Yahuwah Elohim, you have turned their heart back again.
That you did what?
Turn their heart back again.
Why you think it say that? See that you might turn their heart what?
Back again.
Turn their heart what?
Back again.
Now get Malachi 4:4 one more time for the one time. And Luke chapter 1 verse 16 for the one time. This is why you can see why that statement was made in Malachi about turning their hearts back.
Remember you, the law of Moses.
Remember who?
Remember you, the law of Moses.
Come on with it.
My servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb, for all Yasharal, the statutes and judgments.
That's right.
Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet.
I'll send you who?
Elijah the prophet.
I'll send you who?
Elijah the prophet.
What he gonna do?
Before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Yahuwah.
And what he gonna do?
He shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse.
Ain't that what we just seen right here? And for Kings, he said that they might turn their heart back again. And come on with Luke 1:16, man.
And many of the children of Yasharal shall return to the Lord their Elohim.
Give him verse 15. Luke 1:15.
For he shall be great in the sight of the Lord.
He shall be what?
Great in the sight of the Lord.
That's right.
He shall drink neither wine nor strong
He's
drink.
going to be a Nazarite.
He shall be filled with the Ruach HaKodesh, even from his mother's womb.
From his mother's womb.
And many of the children of Yasharal shall return to the Lord their Elohim.
That's right.
And he shall go before him in the spirit and power of Elijah.
The spirit and power of who?
Elijah.
That he might do what?
Turn the hearts of their fathers to the children, and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just.
That's right. So his objective was to make the John the Baptist's job coming in the power of Elijah was to turn the people back. What do you think this witness who coming in the power of Elijah gonna do?
To make ready a people prepared for the Lord.
Song right there. So that's the objective. That's what they gonna do. That's what this witness coming in the power of Elijah gonna do. Is to turn the people back. Because if they during the time of the peace, people's hearts gonna be turned from God. It's gonna be turned from God. He got to bring them back. Come on back over here to 1 Kings 18. We in verse 37. I didn't want y'all to see that. You know, a lot of people don't catch that to turn their heart back. Verse 38.
Then the fire of Yahuwah fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice and the wood and the stones and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench.
And when all the people saw it,
they fell on their faces and they said, Yahuwah, he the Elohim. Yahuwah, he is the Elohim.
And Elijah said
unto them, take the prophets of Baal,
let
none of them escape.
And they took
him and them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook.
And they slew him there.
And Elijah said unto Ahab, get you up.
And what?
Eat and drink.
For
there's a sound of abundance of rain.
Remember how we talked about, come back to James 5:17. Read that for me, man. James chapter 5, verse 17. Notice right after this sacrifice is done, this is when it begins to what? Rain. So what we've been looking at from chapter 17 to 18 is really a 3.5-year span. Because it didn't rain for a space of 3.5 years. That's what the book said. James 5:17.
Elijah was a man subject to like passions as we are, and he prayed earnestly that it might not rain, and it rained not on the earth by the space of 3 years and 6 months. And he prayed again, and Shamahim gave rain, and the earth brought forth her fruit.
The earth brought forth her what?
Her fruit.
Her what?
Her fruit.
Her what?
Her fruit.
Now let's come back over here to 1 Kings 19. Give me verse 41 one more time. Listen what he said. He said, get you up what? And eating what?
drink.
But man, what Mashiach did, man, when that sacrifice was given, what you sat up to go do? Eat and drink. Ate his flesh and drank his blood. Verse 42. So Ahab went up to eat and to drink, and Elijah went up to the top of Carmel, and he cast himself down upon the earth and put his face between his knees, and said to his servant, go up now, look towards the sea. And he went up and looked, and nothing. And he said, go again 7 times. It came to pass at the 7th time that, behold, there arise a little cloud out of the sea, like a man's hands. And he said, go up. Say unto Ahab, prepare, get you down, that the rain stop you not. And it came to pass in the meanwhile that the Shamahim was black with clouds and wind, and there was a great rain, and Ahab rode and went to Jezreel. And the hand of Yahuwah was on Elijah, and girded up his loins, and ran before Ahab to the entrance of Jezreel. But this is the point, right? Give me Luke 24 and 44. Here's the point I'm trying to make. Go to Luke 24 and 44. This is another thing I ain't talking about, right? You know Ben-Hadad, the king of Syria. You know why his name was Hadad? Because he was a servant of Hadad. All Hadad. Nasty nigga. Now we're going to jump over to 2 Kings 1 in a minute, because ain't that much left to talk about Elijah there. Come on with it.
And he said unto them, these the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you.
That's right.
That all things must be fulfilled which were written in the law of Moses.
Written where?
In the law of Moses.
In the what?
In the prophets.
And the what?
The Psalms.
Concerning?
Me.
Come on.
Then opened he their understanding, that
they might
understand the scriptures.
And it behooved.
Thus it is right among all beginning at Jerusalem.
Come on.
You are witnesses of these things.
You what?
Witnesses of these things.
You what?
Witnesses of these things.
Come on.
Behold, I send the promise of my Father upon you. But tarry you in the city of Jerusalem.
Till you be
endued with power from on high.
So guess what, right? When that rain was coming from on high, he said the earth would give its fruit, right? That means all those who the first fruits of the Ruach, like Paul wrote in Romans 8, to get an abundance of rain. That abundance, notice that the sacrifice was complete. The Ruach doesn't come till the sacrifice is complete. That's your John 7 and 39. And the Ruach HaKodesh was not yet given, because Yahushua was not yet esteemed. You see how they go together? Does it make sense for you? 2 Kings chapter 1, verse 1. This will be our conclusion with Elijah. We're going to conclude.
And said to another boy, "One of the beaten." The other boy said, "What definitely is."
You said there's a boy at your school named Jamal and he's gay?
No. Yes.
Oh, so there's a gay boy in your class?
So, yes. And you said, Papa, I don't know what you said. And the boy said, "What definitely is."
He said, say that again?
He said, to the little boy, "You're going to be a."
He said he's going to hell.
No, the other boy said, "You're going to get freaky."
You gotta get freaky?
Yes.
Oh, freaky.
I used to have.
Oh, you have to have a gay boy in your class?
No, I used to.
Wait, so he look just like Glover.
Didn't it? I was going to say that and the sound. I used to. That nigga took on his father's whole spirit. That nigga facial expression, voice, and I used to. Yes. What do you want? Oh, you just didn't want to be left out. Eugene, don't get an attitude of assassin. And for 2, you don't have to have a homosexual classmate like everybody else. So you actually got to, you know what it is to be gay, right? What does that mean?
Well, I think it's not, but it's a boy and a boy gets gay.
Yes, that is absolutely correct. And also goofy and weird. An abomination, strange, unorthodox.
And King told me the boy said he was cute.
Boy told you that?
Yeah.
How did you feel about that? No, I'm saying, like, did you want to punch him?
Yes.
You should have. But I'm glad that you didn't. But if you did, I wouldn't have been upset. I would have understood.
He got full knock him out. You need I told him. No, I did tell him the proper. I said
No,
Make sure you tell your teacher, you know what I'm saying, what it is, and if he still doing
I'll tell you what you should do. I will walk up to that young man and look him in the face and say, a lot of things are cute in life, and I ain't one of them. You know what I'm saying? Let your mind be on Yahuwah, because I serve Yahuwah. Don't come at me with that folly. But see, that's just me, because I'm kind of sarcastic. But yeah, it's a lot of things in life that's cute, and I ain't one of them. What's that? Because I enforce that I am cute, he might come with another superlative that will cause me to strike him.
Well, you can take it from me. Hey, no, I ain't good.
See, we speaking from the aspect of, I'm disrespectful with words, so I'm going to come back with a retort of some type of quick wit to emasculate his intelligence. Because, see, I just don't want to beat you up because you called me. That's too easy. I want to destroy you mentally for my own personal enjoyment, because that is going to last longer than any physical assault that I could ever get. You know what I'm saying? That's because by the time I get home and this gets explained to my people, they gonna know. Shoot, son, let's go get your video. What did Leah say?
That's right. That's right. Question.
I'm happy Tyler's not in school anymore. I'm happy.
I don't know what sus is.
Suspect.
Oh no, I know that. I thought it meant something else. Or did she mean sis?
No, that's why they probably said like that's how you
Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't keep up.
But it's like a cute thing, like the boys, like it's sus Wednesday where all the boys be like in the cafeteria sucking on ice. These kids are weird, and they think it's cute, and they like it's just because it's sus Wednesday we can do it, but we're not really.
No, you're gay. See, I'm gonna go in the classroom. I'm gonna tell you, all you niggas is gay. And you can go tell your parents that I said that all you niggas is gay, because clearly I am about to be fired or quit. I haven't worked long enough to get a pension, so I don't even care. You niggas is gay. I see you, James, sucking on ice. You clearly can suck a golf ball through a garden hose. I am leaving
I don't care.
When 2 days come out of Texas.
When 2 days come out of Texas, that's steers and queers. And you don't look like a steer. So that kind of narrows it down. You know what I'm talking about? And you around here giving niggas a reach around. I gotta go. See, I couldn't be no teacher in 2022. So I'm gonna tell you, come in there, stop talking about booty holes with other boys.
I
ain't talking about telling you a lady. Come in, nigga. I'm gonna do what your daddy should have did. You slap the taste out your mouth. Ain't no, I'm gonna push my
When that's the next
so that's the nigga get them hands to. Nigga, I done did time with that snake, nigga. I'm stabbing that nigga. Shoot, I done did time with a lot of nasty niggas. They know who to trap. That's one thing I know about a nasty nigga in Florida Department of Corrections. They know who to trap. That's what I'm saying. You already know. He like, don't be. I literally lived that when I see that nigga say, no, Rusty. It's not a game. This is not made up. This is not embellished. That's what he said, bro. Who was my witness, boy? The first time I ever went to jail, I'm on no, they ain't no cell though. I'm on the 3rd floor. No, you know, I'm in the county jail. I'm in, it's 2 white boys in the cell. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the cell next to him. We hear these niggas. The dude, Rusty, like the white boy trying to tell Rusty, like, hey man, watch out. I ain't on that. You know what I'm talking about? But he say, no, Rusty. That's not a game. I said, harassing. He's just somebody who had been to jail a lot, and the other dude hadn't been to jail a lot. And you know what I'm saying? And probably his first time, he's seen an opportunity to take advantage of another man. And I told you in the cell next to me, it was old Ewok looking boy and a Mexican booted up, sock on the floor. I said, boy, he took it. He took it. I say, no. What's going on in here, man? We on the 3rd floor. We don't on the 5th. This man going to be happening in here, man. Oh, Jessica said there's a little boy in Ted's class who tells the kids he's gay some days and he's straight some days, and he's been caught watching gay porn, and he's 11. Dang. You know where that come from? He watching gay porn, talking about he bisexual. Somebody in that boy house touching on him, or somebody in that boy house doing some ungodly stuff, man.
That boy already exposed gay porn.
He already exposed. How you get gay porn at 11? Yeah. Shoot, at 11, I couldn't get regular porn.
We got phones now.
And you gotta
go home and find out.
What? I'm talking about, man, I wouldn't get these niggas a phone till they 27. Come in here, these niggas around here showing your areolas to your friends. You know what I'm talking about? I'm killing everybody. I'm killing mine. I'm going to that. I'm going to the friend's house. I'm killing them and they people. And then I'm going down to the memorial building and say, here I am. I killed 4 niggas today. Well, why you killed them? Because they were doing some ungodly, freaky stuff. I'd rather go to jail than my daughter be a whore and my son be a fag. So here I am. Tell Nasty Nate, get his boots on, nigga. We gonna bump. Shoot, it is in the jailhouse, nigga. Strap up, nigga. Meet me under the stairs. Ain't no pause. The niggas in jailhouse ain't on that pause. The niggas say strap up, nigga. Let me put the shoes on, nigga. Tie them up, nigga. Get up on the stairs. One thing about it, nigga, the county don't care nothing about no pause, nigga. That nigga say strap up. Put them shoes on, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Get up on the stairs.
She didn't say what school her nephew went to, but she said her sister said that she told they can be whatever you want to be a boy, you can be a boy. You want to be a girl, you can be a girl.
That's why people homeschooling their church. But they don't even want them exposed to that junk, man. These people around here worse than a girl out here. He's influenced.
That's what Wayne Wade's ex-wife saying that Wayne Wade forced the niggas out.
I mean, but he would have got money out of that Sweet Booty Boy anyway, but now he can get some different money. Now his son is the face of Sweet Booty.
Yeah, that's she was pretty much a legend.
You know what I'm saying? It's clearly that Dwayne Wade no longer has a penis. Yeah. And that he gave it to Gabriel. You know what I'm talking about? And there's that. At this point, it's highly likely maybe Gabriel is a man, and maybe Dwayne Wade was Diana, and he was a tranny the whole time. Just a big burly tranny woman. At this point, these niggas don't get no respect. That nigga basketball accomplishments mean nothing. Shoot, you ain't never seen, man. They got laughs, man. You know what I'm saying? Give him some extra hormones. That nigga got a coochie transplant, man.
He already been used to jumping.
I'm talking about shoot.
Jumping the gym, you know.
Lord, help us all. Come on, man. 1 Kings chapter 2. 1 Kings 2. Or 2 Kings, I'm sorry. 2 Kings chapter 1.
Then Moab rebelled against Yasharal after the death of Ahaz. And Ahaziah fell down through a lattice in his upper chamber that was in Samaria and was sick. And he sent messengers and said unto them, go inquire of Beelzebub, the god of the Elohim of Ekron, whether I should recover of this disease.
Now remember, Ahab is dead. So he's dealing with another king of Yasharal at this point. Go ahead.
But the Malachim of Yahuwah said to Elijah the Tishbite, arise, go up to meet the messengers of the king of Samaria, and say unto them, not because not Elohim and Yasharal, you go to inquire.
So this is another thing what the two witnesses will be dealing with, is because people be inquiring of the devil and not of Yahuwah. Yeah, that's what Sean just said. His daughter right at the house. For them. Come on.
Now therefore, thus say Yahuwah, you shall not come down from that bed on which you are going up, but
you shall surely die.
And Elijah departed.
And when the messengers
turned back unto him, he said unto them, why are you now turned back?
He said unto them,
there came a man up to meet us and said unto us, go turn again unto the king that sent you.
Say unto him,
thus say Yahuwah.
Is it not?
Because there's not Elohim Yasharal.
You send to inquire?
Of balls above the Elohim of Ekron.
Y'all know who Beelzebub is, right? That's the god of the wind, man. Is it Mark 10 or is it Mark 3? It's Mark 3. Mark 3:27. Michael Glover, man, your son back here emulating you, man. Your son was back here looking and talking just like you, man. That's your boy. Boy. Firstborn. You know you belong to the Lord because you were the first son to come out your mother's Did you know that?
Yes.
Who told you that?
Nobody, but I know that I'm the firstborn.
No. You say what?
I just know I'm the firstborn.
But did you know you belong to Yahuwah because you're the firstborn son?
No, I didn't know that just because. I didn't know because.
See that? He looked just like him just did. Yeah. Every firstborn son that comes out of a lady's womb belongs to you. All firstborn sons. Huh? It's only for boys.
Oh.
You told him? He said he didn't know that. Huh? Yeah. I'm his firstborn son.
Then you talk to him. You stop talking.
Who that, Eugene? Well, you ain't lying. Yeah, the thing is you don't want to be mean to him, like don't want to talk to him, but boy,
I didn't find it. You try to stretch him.
That boy like a Fred motorcycle, man. We make that into that boy. You know what I'm saying? How he just hum and he just make a beautiful noise. That's him. You know what I'm talking about? That boy, he got something to tell you. That boy feel like Andre 3000 and Big Boy at the Social Wars in 1995. Eugene. Eugene said, I got something to say.
You just had to be there.
Had to be there. Come on, where you at, man?
Mark, you said Mark 3:27.
Yeah, make it 22. Tell me what Mark 3:20.
And the scribes which came down from Jerusalem said he had Beelzebub.
Yeah, what?
Beelzebub.
Make it back it up to 19 then.
And Judas Iscariot, which also betrayed him, and they went into a house, and the multitude come together again so that they could not so much as eat bread. And when his friends heard, they went out to lay hold on him, for they said he is beside himself.
He's beside himself.
And the scribes which came down from Jerusalem said, he had Beelzebub, and by the prince of the devils cast he out devils.
He got Beelzebub. Beelzebub is also considered to Hebrews to be the ruler of unclean spirits. That's why he's called the Lord of the what? Lies. He's the ruler of unclean spirits. And that's who the king of Israel in 2 Kings was calling for. And this is who they called Yahusha and said that's who he was. The disrespect. Continue, Priscilla.
And he called them and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan?
How can the adversary get rid of the adversary?
And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand.
It can't stand.
And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand.
Can't stand.
And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but have an end.
Have a what?
Have an end.
Have a what?
An end.
That's why he said you can't be no schism in the body, or the body gonna have an end.
No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. Truly I say unto you, all sins shall be forgiven unto the sons of men, and blasphemies wherewithsoever they shall blaspheme. But he that shall blaspheme against the Ruach HaKodesh have never forgiveness, but is in danger of eternal damnation.
That's right.
Because they said he have an unclean spirit.
So they turned around and said Beelzebub is an unclean spirit. See, let's look at some of the rights that go on to Beelzebub. Yeah, because they were saying that the work he did by casting out an unclean spirit was done by Beelzebub. Yeah, them people, they pretty much damn it. They might have got away a little bit just in that just because he hadn't laid that out. You know what I mean? But you know, that's speculation. This is Beelzebub. Slow. This Beelzebub. That's Beelzebub. You want what to say?
I want to see it. I want to see it.
He's something that somebody made up in their mind because he doesn't exist in real life. But that's somebody showing them that he was shooting arrows. Of course, Beelzebub is from a Philistine god worshiping Ekron. And then he's also associated with Baal. He's also has another name for Satan. He is known in demonology as one of the seven deadly demons or seven princes of hell. Beelzebub represents gluttony. Beelzebub is described as being capable of flying, known as the Lord of the Flyers or the Lord of Flies. And of course, you have different traditions of what he's referred to as. So let me see what else we got here. They do have a show called Beelzebub. He said he's described as being placed high in hell's hierarchy. A 16th century occultist by the name of Johann Weird, Beelzebub led a successful revolt against the devil and is the chief lieutenant of Lucifer, the emperor of hell, and presides over the Order of the Fly. I've heard of the Order of the Fly Secret Society. Have any of y'all ever heard of the Order of the Fly Secret Society? Because I can't remember where I heard it from, but I know I heard it. Hold on, we got some. Oh, there go your man's right here too, Lil Johnny. In the 17th century exorcist Sebastian Michaelis in Admirable History placed Beelzebub among the three most prominent falling angels, the other two being Lucifer and Leviathan. John Milton, in his epic poem Paradise Lost, first published in 1667, identified an unholy trinity consisting of Beelzebub, Lucifer, and Astaroth, with Beelzebub as the second ranking of many fallen angels. Milton wrote of Beelzebub, in whom Satan accept, none higher sat. Beelzebub is also a character in John Bunyan's The Pilgrim's Progress, first published in 1678. Sebastian Michaelis associated Beelzebub with the deadly sins of pride, and how, according to Peter Bensfield, Beelzebub was the demon of gluttony, one of the other seven deadly sins, whereas Francis Barrett asserted that Beelzebub was the prince of idolatry. Within religious circles, the accusation of demon possession has been both used as an insult and an attempt to categorize unexplained behavior, such as schizophrenia. Not only had the Pharisees disparagingly accused Yahushua of using Beelzebub's demonic power to heal people, but they have been labeled possessed. That boy took the tongue. Possessed. And for acts of extreme nature. Down through history, Beelzebub has been held responsible for many cases of demonic possession, such as Sister Madeleine de Mandelo de la Palu of Axen province in 1611, whose relationship with Father Jean-Baptiste Gaufridi not only led to countless traumatic events at the hand of her inquisitors, but also to the torture and execution of that bewitcher of nuns, Gaufridi himself. Beelzebub was also imagined to be sowing his influence in Salem, Massachusetts, and his name came up repeatedly during the Salem witch trials, the last large-scale public expression of witch hysteria in North America or Europe. Afterwards, the Reverend Cotton Mather wrote a pamphlet titled Beelzebub and His Plot. So there's that. Said in all the anime he done seen, Beelzebub was always a demon. But I just mentioned all that to show you that. Did you see how all these people made up a multitude of things that ain't got nothing to do with nothing? You know what I'm saying? Imagine Beelzebub, Lucifer, and Astaroth. I mentioned that's the dude that we ran across, that Johnny ran across, just John Milton, who wrote Paradise Lost, who was the one who came up with that Lucifer was the devil. Same dude. John Milton is the dude who came up with Lucifer is the devil. You know what I'm talking about? Because that is not a teaching that the book promotes. You know what I'm talking about? But I'll just give you a little background on Beelzebub. That's who they was calling that. And as you can see in the pantheon of modern history, Beelzebub is considered to be higher than Satan, or considered to be Satan himself. But at the end of the day, all Beelzebub was the imagination of Philistines and Canaanites. That's all it was. Let's come back to 2 Kings chapter 2. In verse 7. Anybody got 2:10? Means mind your business and mind the business that pay you.
Oh.
Remember this thing. That nigga said, come on, man.
Kings 1:7.
2 Kings chapter 1, verse 7.
And he said unto them, what manner of man which came up to meet you and told you these words? And they answered him, a hairy man, and girt with a girdle of leather about his
What kind
loins.
of man?
A hairy man.
What kind of man was John the Baptist? How was he a hairy man? Because he had them camel's hair on. Yeah, but I ain't got nothing to do with that. Because John the Baptist was to come in the power and spirit of Elijah. So he had a garments of camel's hair on. Because Elijah was described as being a hairy man. You know, it's certain aspects of certain people where it gives a physical description. Like the one king that was described as being fat. And the other judge and deliverer who was described as being left-handed. Continue.
And girt with a girdle of leather about his loins. And he said, Elijah, the Tishbite. And the king sent unto him a captain of 50 with his 50. And he went up to him, and behold, he sat on the top of a hill. And he spake unto him, you man of Elohim. The king had said, come down. And Elijah answered and said to the captain of 50, if I am man of Elohim, then let fire come down from Shamahim and consume you and your 50.
That's right.
And there came down fire from Shamahim and consumed him and his 50.
That's right.
Again also he sent unto him another captain of 50 with his 50, and he answered and said unto him, O man of Elohim, just as the king said, come down quickly.
Come on.
And Elijah answered and said unto him, if I am man of Elohim, let fire consume you and your 50.
All right.
And the fire of Elohim came down from Elohim and consumed him and his 50.
And again?
And he sent again a captain of the third 50.
Third captain.
The third captain of 50 went up and came and fell on his knees before Elijah and besought him.
That's
and
right.
said unto him, O man of Elohim, I pray you, let my life and the life of these 50 your servants be precious in your sight.
Behold,
there came down fire from Shamahim and burnt up the two captains of the former 50s with their 50s. Therefore, let my life now be precious in your sight. And the Malachim of Yahuwah said unto Elijah, go down with him, be not afraid of him. And he arose.
And he went down with him
unto the king.
And he said unto him,
thus say Yahuwah, for as much as you have sent messengers to inquire of Beelzebub, the Elohim of Ekron,
not because
it's not Elohim and Yashua
to inquire
of his word.
Therefore,
you shall not come down off that bed
on which you are gone up.
I shall surely die.
So he died
according to the word of Yahuwah, which Elijah has spoken. And Jehoram reigned in his stead in the 2nd year of Jehoram, the son of Jehoshaphat, king of Yehuda.
Now, we just went so you can see where that came from with that, right? What was he sending? He was sending men to meet up to go speak to Elijah. And Elijah was sending fire down from heaven to destroy it, which is what the disciples asked because the people didn't want to receive Mashiach. The same way that these men didn't want to receive him. And this is why the fire is coming down from heaven with those two witnesses, because these people don't want to receive that testimony. You know what I'm talking about? So since they didn't want to receive that testimony, then here, receive this. You know what I'm talking about? And then, of course, the next chapter with Elijah, what happens? He gets taken up in a whirlwind of Shamahim.
Just like the witnesses on the 4th day.
Just like the witnesses on the 4th day, he get taken up. Just so you can see the parallel. We'll stop right there because we won't even start Moses. That's going to be irresponsible. So hallelujah for Yahushua the word. Prayerfully, everybody understood everything that related to him coming in the spirit and power of Elijah. You know, it's not necessarily going to be anything, you know, fantastic. It's just informational purposes for you to know who Elijah was, what he did, and how that prophet line up with him. So you who are willing on Wednesday, we'll start with Moses. Moses' foray, it probably could be a lot longer. But also what you wanted to deal with is the beast is coming in the power of Satan, the fire coming down from heaven because the people were inquiring of Beelzebub. And then it was still Paul, whether it's Beelzebub or Balaam and the 17 with the prophets, it's still Satan in that regard. And that he stood up against idolatry to destroy the idolatry of the land so the people's hearts could return back to Yahuwah. And when we get to Moses, that's going to be more so about freedom, deliverance, along with the destruction of an oppressive civilization and society. So I bless y'all, the house of Elohim, in the name of Yahushua, man. Appreciate y'all, love y'all. You're willing, man. We're going to pop this off on Wednesday and make it do what it do. And until that time, and anybody on Clubhouse got something, man, go ahead and let that go right now, man. You know what I'm saying? If not, we're going to get on up out of here.